want to heal our city.
It's going to take a couple of days to get everybody out. We had to build an entire city to save the city.
It is important that we do not lose sight of what brought us here.
No justice! No peace!
We need to make it a better world for these kids.
If we don't begin to address these problems, it can only hurt our entire country.
Of course, this is the case that has touched off a lot of tensions in the Baltimore community. Freddie Gray, arrested 2 weeks ago by Baltimore City Police. He died in shock trauma 1 week ago yesterday with a very severe spinal cord injury. And there are questions about how that happened.
That I'm asking everybody how to go home and to clear the streets. And tomorrow, everybody's going to meet at the church so that we can figure out so that we don't lose focus on what it is that we're supposed to be doing.
Has this surprised you today? None of us heard about this.
It's disappointing. We're just hours out of the funeral. The family is just hours after putting their son to rest. To come just a few blocks away from where we had the services, disappointing. And I'm hoping to bring some calm and to bring our young people back into focus as to what we're really marching for.
People coming up about 50 police officers here. This smoke you see in the background is from burning Maryland Transportation Police cruiser and a burning van. That CVS in the background right here has been looted. We drove past North Avenue to come up behind this line, but it looks like we're about to have a confrontation here. Police have their shields ready. They've got their nightsticks ready as well.
A chaotic scene in northwest Baltimore as helicopters and police swarm bystanders watching dirt bikes. What led to officers in riot gear? Plus,
put the knife down! Put it down!
A woman shot by a DC police officer, and it is all caught on camera what she was doing just before those shots were fired. Good evening, I'm Jennifer Gilbert. Baltimore police officers in riot gear brought in to clear a large crowd of dirt bikes this evening. It happened on Reisterstown Road near Druid Hill Park in northwest Baltimore. That's where we find Adam Yosem with this developing story tonight. Adam.
Jennifer, some of those dirt bike riders have returned here to Reisterstown Road. Take a look behind me. You can see it and you could hear it. Some of those riders, they are circling around the intersection, but we have seen others go through red lights. A lot of drivers here are trying to slowly navigate through this intersection. Now, this is
Mr. Speaker, the Pope of the Holy See.
Let us remember the golden rule.
Powerful.
Do unto others.
Sincere.
Will have them do unto you.
But humble.
As the son of immigrants.
These are controversial subjects.
The people of this continent.
He didn't go easy on anybody.
Are not fearful of foreigners.
Thank you very much, and God bless America.
An historic day in America. Pope Francis wraps up his visit to Washington, D.C. An hour ago, he left Joint Base Andrews, and now you see crowds of people bidding him farewell, including Secretary of State John Kerry. He's headed to New York for the second leg of his U.S. tour.
And this was earlier today, just about 45 minutes ago, as the Pope boarded that American Airlines flight bound for New York City. The pictures you saw just a few moments ago, actually, we were looking live at JFK in New York. This was Joint Base Andrews as people said goodbye, but they are now awaiting his arrival. That American Airlines flight expected to touch down momentarily at JFK in New York, where the Pope will arrive for evening prayers at St. Patrick's Cathedral. Good afternoon. I'm Jennifer Gilbert.
And I'm Kai Jackson. A lecture from Pope Francis. That was what lawmakers in Congress heard earlier today. From immigration to gay marriage and even the death penalty, the pontiff seemed to challenge lawmakers in Washington.
National correspondent Jeff Barn was watching and joins us now with more on this historic speech. Star Wars fans are gearing up for the premiere of the latest film, The Force Awakens.
Karen Campbell is live outside of the Senator Theater in North Baltimore, where moviegoers have been lining up for tonight's big show. Hi, Karen.
Hi there. Well, we have moved from the outside to the inside, and that is because these doors behind me are expected to open any moment. So you're going to have hundreds of Star Wars fans coming in here checking out the premiere of Star Wars. And joining me now, I want to introduce you to someone. This is Matthew Morley. Of course, he is dressed as a stormtrooper. He is part of this whole event tonight. So talk to us about how excited you are, first of all.
Oh, we're very excited. Many of us have been fans since the original movie in '77. Grew up with Star Wars and really looking forward to seeing the story continue.
And does it surprise you that many people that are standing outside right now waiting to get into this theater?
Oh yeah, I'm very happy with how many people. Very surprised, the great turnout, even with the weather. It's turned out really well.
Now, many of your fellow stormtroopers are lining up here welcoming moviegoers in. Why decide to do that?
Oh, because we really like dressing up as the costumes. We get to go out as charity groups, help make kids smile, and have a fun and support the community at the same time.
Well, thank you so very much, and I will let you, looks like they're getting ready to open the doors now, so I'll let you get back to welcoming those moviegoers. So I'm going to send it back in to you all.
All right, thank you, Karen. All the hype, and now it's finally here.
Here it is. Can you believe it? And fans across the country, by the way, are gearing up for the movie premiere.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at some of the pictures that we're seeing on social media. Here we have Chewie and Han Solo going to the movies there. It's a great picture.
Look at
Love
this.
it.
Yeah, I love the mixed match socks. We have C-3PO and R2-D2 on the socks right there with
Very
some
nice.
freshly polished shoes. Very nice.
Awesome, looking good. All right, I love a man in uniform, she says.
I don't know, but stormtroopers, they're not good though, are they? And here's some people lined up waiting. Some people have been waiting like well over a day, even more, waiting to get inside the theater or just waiting for tickets.
Definitely diehard fans. Oh, the Force is strong with this one. So cute. The Force Awakens. There you see the little Jedi there, ready for the movie. Well, as fans get ready to see the new Star Wars film premiering in U.S. theaters tonight, it is actually already setting some records. Movie ticketing website Fandango says pre-sales for Star Wars The Force Awakens broke the record for most tickets sold in site history. Box office analysts predict the movie could make at least $200 million this weekend alone. The film opens in more than 4,100 theaters nationwide with first showing scheduled for 7 p.m. tonight. And our Karen Campbell is standing by the Senator Theater in North Baltimore where the doors are about to open. We're looking live there as people have lined up ready to come in.
There they go.
Screams and high fives all around.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News at 5.
A city in crisis.
It's just a bunch of young people that are misguided. Now we destroying our homes. Now we destroying our community. For what?
They are acting out of hurt, mistrust, not only of the police, but of the elected leadership in Baltimore, including myself.
I want y'all to get justice for my son, but don't do it like this here.
Let the state and the federal government do their job and bring these people to justice. I got faith that they will bring these officers up on charges.
Tonight, Baltimore is trying to heal, trying to make sense of everything that's happened since Monday, even before that actually, surrounding the investigation of Freddie Gray's death.
But groups of people across the city have been joining together, calling for peace and justice. Our Kathleen Cairns begins our team coverage with a group of high school students. She's actually on the bus with them right now. Hi, Kathleen.
Jennifer and Kai, can you believe it? I'm on board a bus with high school students right now. We're actually traveling back to Digital Harbor High School. They just finished a march all the way to City Hall, and these are two of the guys that participated in it. Come on, cozy up to me. So you guys, woohoo! Hang on there. What was your message? You both are seniors, you're teenagers, you saw the violence in the city, and you're saying that you don't like it either, the young folks out there doing that.
Well, personally, I was heartbroken because, watching that stuff on the news, I was, very upset because, that's my city. I used to actually live down the street from that CVS, and so it was it touched home for real.
It's the message we keep hearing, heartbroken. What about you?
I feel like violence is not the answer, but without the violence that happened on Monday,
the whole world wouldn't be watching, and now we have like a catalyst for change in the world. Like
a platform.
Yes, we could be the change we want to see in the world. Like with Baltimore, we could revolutionize the whole country.
And that was the message we kept hearing back and forth on the march. Thank you both for talking with me. The message we kept hearing on the march was that these are young folks who want to see change, who want to see peace. They don't want their city portrayed in the way that the world has seen it over the past few days. And they also were chanting along the way, hey, you guys, you remember what you were chanting? What was it? We are Baltimore. That's what they kept saying over and over. And they were given the peace signs to the National Guard, the police officers, anybody they passed as they marched from Digital Harbor all the way to City Hall. And then they hopped on buses to head back home, hopefully to do some homework, I suppose, right? So I've had a great time with these young folks. There were about 200 of them. Members of the community joined them as well on the march to get the word out that everybody here just wants peace. Live on board a bus, Kathleen Cairns, Fox 45 News.
All right, thank you, Kathleen. Well, it was back to class for Baltimore City students after school was canceled yesterday following Monday night's riots. As Fox 45's Adam Yosem reports, one school got a surprise visit from a celebrity who came to listen to the students.
Go right ahead.
As Dr. Gregory Thornton spoke to students at Frederick Douglass High School,
I'm glad to have you back in school today.
a quote from the abolitionist in the hallway caught his attention.
It basically said, no struggle, no progress. Well, we're in a struggle, and hopefully we're going to utilize this struggle as a way to make tremendous progress and tremendous gains in trying to meet their needs in this community.
Conversations in the classrooms
all the stuff, well, they really destroying our city.
About their community.
The thing that the police do to us, we don't get justice for it.
Students speaking about what they saw on TV, focused on Mondawmin Mall across from their school.
Rioting, it never even came across my mind because when I look at my peers and when I look at the adults in our city, I don't think about them being those type of people. I look at them as being fighters, but not being fighters to an extent of putting other people's lives at harm.
The images left this surprise celebrity heartbroken.
I get it. I'm here to listen first and foremost.
Which is why rapper Wale came from New York to Douglas High.
Don't make sense, yo. I know these kids tired. Yeah, I'm here because I care. I don't want to see nobody get beat up by them people once the cameras go away.
Telling students they have to see themselves as better than what's been shown on the news.
It's about how you perceive yourself and how you hold yourself down. And we all brothers and sisters in this right now. We're going to get it together.
A picture together with the students who enjoyed the surprise.
He was very educated, and it was just an upping moment for the black community.
While across the street, something students couldn't have ever pictured. In Northwest Baltimore, Adam Yosem, Fox 45 News.
Now, the emergency curfew in Baltimore ended at 5 o'clock this morning and starts again tonight at 10. This was the scene last night at North and Pennsylvania Avenue as police basically scooped up a man who was out after the citywide curfew. People were seen throwing what appeared to be fireworks at the police line. Officers advanced on the crowd using smoke and pepper balls. But in comparison to Monday night, police say the first night of the curfew was successful.
Baltimore City Police just held a news conference this afternoon to update everyone on the Gray investigation and the number of arrests that have been made. A city police captain says the investigation is ongoing and has not been affected by the riots and protests. Last night there were 35 arrests of people who violated the curfew. 34 were adults, 1 juvenile. The police captain says 209 arrests were made after the violence on Monday night. However, 111 of them are still waiting to be charged.
If we are not able to meet the 48-hour window that we have to charge them in, they will be released. We do not want to violate anyone's constitutional rights. What we will do after the fact, and as we have been promising, is stand up an investigative team, go through the vast amount of video evidence that we have, through all of the information that is on social media, and we will file appropriate charging documents at a later date.
Captain Kowalczyk says resources are currently staged throughout the city in areas where students could congregate. There will be more updates throughout the evening.
The violence throughout Baltimore has also taken its toll on many businesses and retailers. John Rydell is at the Inner Harbor, where he's taking the pulse of workers as well as merchants.
Well, it's certainly been a very beautiful spring day here at the Inner Harbor, the kind of day that you would expect hundreds, if not thousands of people to show up, but we're seeing very few people down here throughout the afternoon. But what we have seen are plenty of city police and members of the Army National Guard, and some folks I spoke with said downtown has not yet returned to normal. At first glance, it appears that downtown Baltimore is bouncing back. On this beautiful afternoon, Harbor Place is beckoning. But at times, visitors are outnumbered by city police and the Maryland National Guard.
It's definitely not the same hustle and bustle that we normally see this time of the year. A lot of kids around, a lot of tourists. I'm not seeing all of that.
And when word spread Monday that there was trouble brewing in other parts of town, many businesses here shut down early. Jason Brooks works at Inside Global. It's an IT firm inside the T. Rowe Price Tower at Inner Harbor East.
We didn't see anything like big groups of people, but they had been there before, and there was word that they were kind of on their way over. So, better to be safe than sorry and be, precautious.
At Lenny's Deli at Harbor Place, they're still serving brisket and Reubens. Customers are few and far between. Police forced Lenny's and all other retailers at Harbor Place to shut down early on Saturday.
What flavor chips?
Lenny's has been shutting down early ever since.
Our business down here is predicated on tourism, and nobody in their right mind's going to come to the city right now until this mess is over with.
While some merchants here remain nervous about what may happen after yet another demonstration this coming Saturday, one woman I spoke with says she's trying to remain hopeful that the worst of the city's problems are now behind us. At Harbor Place, John Rydell, Fox 45 News.
The crisis in Baltimore is having a widespread impact, even on the sports world. Usually O's games are filled with fans. Today, the seats were empty, and not because it was the fans' choice. The gates at Oriole Park were locked. And check out the stands. A few fans did peek between the gates trying to catch some of the action, but that's all they could do. Now some experts are saying this is a first in Major League Baseball, saying that no other game has even been closed to the public.
Well, today, Orioles center fielder Adam Jones commented on the ongoing tensions across the city. Here's what he had to say.
It's not an easy time right now for anybody. It doesn't matter what race you are. It's a tough time for the city of Baltimore, and my prayers have been out for all the families, all the kids out there. They're hurting, and I think the big message is to stay strong, Baltimore. Stay safe. Continue to be the city, the great city that I've known to love over the last 8 years I've been here.
Well, coming up in Sports Unlimited, Bruce Cunningham will have more on what it was like to be inside the stadium during today's game.
How are the roads looking tonight? Well, let's find out. Chardell Moore has our Traffic Edge report. Hi, Chardell.
Hey, Kai. Well, we got some good spots and we have some bad spots. Top side of the Beltway, speeds are clocking in at 11 miles an hour. Right now, no complaints along 95 through White Marsh. Now, this is what you can expect at 695 and Bel Air Road. We did have an accident approaching Taylor Avenue, so be prepared for that. We're also dealing with some congestion between Greenspring Avenue as well. York Road is also stop and go. Traveling along Wilkins Avenue, we're starting to move. 70 at 29 is shaping up nicely. Now, if you're traveling along 295, we're also dealing with stop and go activity between 198 and 32. Inside Baltimore, that's where you'll have to be careful. Gay Street, President Street, and Fulton Avenue, we also are experiencing some heavy police activity. That's your latest look on the roads. Jennifer Kai, back to you.
Support for Baltimore, the social media hashtag trending across the city, and what Loyola students are saying about the city they love.
And we're looking at those temperatures. Pretty comfortable out there at this time. 73 degrees, a few scattered clouds. We'll see more clouds tonight. And then to talk about some rain coming into play, I'll show you that and the change in our temperatures coming up.